I'm going to take risks now so I can get greater rewards later. I spoke to one of my fraternity brothers just the other day because he just came out with a line of men, care products. And so he has sent me a, package, and I love it. It's great. And so now, when we graduated from college, this dude was straight corporate America. I mean, they traveled him all over the world, training people and things, right? But at the same time, he wasn't happy. He wasn't living and enjoying his life because he was constantly in the air, constantly, out of town, and just not just frustrated and stressed out because of the whole corporate structure. So therefore, he had a dream, he had a vision. Then he went and acted on it. So I just called him, congratulate him because he took the step. And the first thing he said, you know what, man, I've always known you to be an entrepreneur. He said, even when we was in college. Now, back in my college days, I was straight up hustling then too. I was selling sandwiches and donuts. They called me the donut man. So when I go back now, they still holler, donut man, because I didn't have the financial support that I needed, so I had to figure out another way. Because my mindset has always been, I got to have it. So therefore, I was willing to do something different. I didn't get the mail from home with the money in it. You know what I'm saying? Well, I would see other people. So, I didn't come from a wealthy family, so I had to be creative. But when you have a mindset of an entrepreneur, then your creativity is allowed to flow. When you're an employee mindset, your only thought process is just work hard enough to keep your job. So when you get off work, you think that you done worked a good day's work, and so you deserve to sit on the couch. You deserve to just sit there and watch your favorite TV program because you work hard. But it's such a tragedy for those that have committed their lives to a job, to get at the end of their work career, to discover that it ain't enough. So that's what we're really trying to do is rally the call to inform people. Now is your time, now is your opportunity to be able to position yourself so that you truly can enjoy the rest of your lives. Like my son said, I'm big on leaving a legacy. I mean, I like to be liked, but if I don't have nobody at my funeral, I won't know. But I want to be able to leave something for my children and my grandchildren, my great-great-grandchildren. Because my great-greats and my grandchildren, my grandchildren. But I may never meet my great-great-grandchildren. So they're not going to be there, but it's for them. So, we're really, truly on a mission. So as he said, we only have a few more days. And why aren't the same people here today that was here last week? Why is that? But that wasn't a question. I want you to think about it. That's what I want y'all to do. Put on your business, thinking caps. Okay? Because that's the difference. See, success may come in different packages, meaning different people, because everybody looks different, right? But it takes the same qualities and characteristics to become successful. No matter what the package looks like, the characteristics are the same. Consistency, commitment, passion, desire. As Tonio taught on this morning, those individuals that he used as examples of success were individuals that demonstrated the same characteristics. They made sacrifices. See, if you're an employee-minded individual, you don't want to sacrifice nothing. Do you realize that the flesh always wants to seek the gratification, wants to seek, the path of least resistance? Because anytime you feel that, that sting, it becomes painful, and our minds is conditioned to avoid pain. But anytime you grow, you stretch. So you have to experience that pain of stretching. And that's what an employee or an entrepreneur mindset is about, is stretching. So when you're going through the growth process of stretching, those failures that you encounter aren't there to destroy you, but to make you more wise, to prepare you for something greater. So if your mind is conditioned to avoid that type of feeling, then you'll never have the courage to step out and experience being an entrepreneur. You allow that fear. That's why I started out by saying that we've already put in place the process. So you don't have to fear the fear of not having any experience of owning a business prior to this. We've already paved the way. We've already, perfected the system. It's just a matter of you plugging in and being connected so that you can benefit. So entrepreneurs are willing to risk it all. And employees prefer to play it safe and stay off the radar. They don't want to draw no attention. Maybe they come to work late from time to time. Don't complete their task on time. So they're just skating by. So they become invisible, insignificant, and then be the first ones laid off or fired and wonder why. Entrepreneurs can't adjust to what society dictates. Employees flow with, flow right along with the mainstream. So they don't want to create no waves. But an entrepreneur is not going to allow the world to define them and dictate to them what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. When I graduated from college, my family gave me the spiel. Now you're going to go get you one of the good jobs. Now you're going to apply your degree and use your, degree that you earned. But I realized in college that my degree, because initially I was in electrical engineering. So that trains you to work with somebody for so many years because you have to be up under somebody in order to gain the knowledge in that field in order for you to step out into your own business. I said, oh no, I'm not gonna go along this path. I have to work with somebody for 10 years before I can step out and start my own business. Like, no, I got to start now. So I changed my degree. That's what took me a couple more quarters to business. Because I was always business minded. So I just can't conform to that mindset. So when my family kept telling me about getting this good paying job working for corporate America, that wasn't the life that I saw for myself. So I had to, take the risk. I had to go a different route in order to pursue my passion. Was it easy? No, not at all. I mean, through the course of that, there was a lot of loss and pain that came along with it. But I'm standing here today thankful that I did, because it wouldn't have made me happy and feeling complete within myself. And two, I wouldn't be enjoying the lifestyle that I now live. I wouldn't be able to be the blessing to other people that I am now had I went that other route. So when you make a decision, you make a sacrifice, it's not only for you. Now you're able to reach back and help somebody else. Now you're able to educate somebody else. That's why we're so convinced and confident about what we do, because how can somebody come in this room, come around us and tell us what's not real, what's not possible? When you've done the impossible, nobody can tell you or convince you otherwise. So that's the conviction you have to have when you're speaking to your people. Now, what you may be describing may be your reality, but what I'm talking about is my reality. So therefore, which reality am I going to trust? Which reality am I going to listen to? The reality of someone that isn't living the quality of life that you desire, or living at the level of life that you desire, or trusting a system that's already been proven by leadership that has already experienced it, that's willing to sow and pour into you, that's telling you, no, let's go this way. Which one are you going to trust? Because at the end of the day, which one do you want to be more like? But too often, and that's the reason why we probably don't see those folks here that, were here last week, is that they listen to the wrong information. Because even though I own a successful business already, I was at the Saturday's trainings. I was at the Tuesday presentation. I was on the nightly calls. And I already own a successful business. So if I'm hungry for the information, if I'm excited about the information, somebody that doesn't have that type of lifestyle, that desires it, if they truly desire it, need to be exposed to it. Wouldn't you agree? Mm-hmm. So one thing that you'll learn about this business and this industry is the truth about people. People say one thing, but their actions dictate and expose them of something totally different. You've been around somebody your entire life, they've been talking about, living this lavish lifestyle. Then you get exposed to a true opportunity that is real. Then you get excited like, man, we found the way. I found the way for us. Let's go ahead and do this thing. Let's make this money. I ain't got time. Those things don't work. No, I don't believe that's real. I mean, you get all kind of explanations and excuses. But doing nothing is going to still equal nothing. At least invest, at least attempt to see it, because what it costs to get involved is so minimal that, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and give it a real shot and see how real it can be for them. But the truth of it is, no matter what a person does in life, if they commit to it, if they're consistent with it, they will become successful eventually, no matter what. But the opposite is always true, or most of the time, where individuals don't commit, don't invest the time, and they waver and jump from one thing to the next, so they never truly see how powerful something can be. So I got this, I'll play it right after this. Entrepreneurs make the rules, employees follow the rules. So we got some rule makers in the house this morning. I'm telling you, I can't conform. I can't. I mean, even yesterday, I'm driving, trying to get back to South Minneapolis. The traffic was backed up on the freeway. You know how my mind is like a navigation system. I recalculate, right? So I passed the Olsen Highway exit. Then I said, well, you know what I can do? I can hop on 394. I can go around there by Theodore Worth. I can come back around down there by Calhoun, Lake Calhoun, and then I'll be right over there in South Minneapolis. Hit it quick. No traffic, no problems. At least I was moving. Now, maybe it was taking me 15, 20 minutes if I would have sat there in traffic. Mm-hmm. And it took me about 15, 20 minutes to go this other route. Mm-hmm. But it seemed much more enjoyable because I didn't have the stress of looking at somebody else sitting next to me, inching their way through traffic. Well, that's just how I think. If I see a line, I'm trying to find a way to get around that line. Mm-hmm. Do you realize the majority of the people see a line and get in the line because they think that there's something at the front of the line that they want or need, only to discover that they was in the wrong line? But people are sometimes like cattle. You know, they just following somebody else's lead. Just following somebody else's lead. So where are they being led to? Hopefully not the slaughter. Hopefully not the slaughterhouse. But at least if they go to the slaughterhouse, I hope it's U.S. Foods where they're going to become premium. Yeah. You know, I really got this thing for steaks last night. We went out for dinner last night, and you know, their definition of a premium cut, right? So I got the New York strip, 14 ounce, right? $30 just for the steak. The whole meal was like $100. And I'm saying, like, okay, I'm looking at the cost point. Then the quality of the steak. I mean, even if I spent $30 for this steak, I'm still spitting out gristle and all kind of stuff. And I'm saying, like, wow. Now, the New York strip that I had through Bodywork, that thing cut like butter. I ate every piece of that steak. There was no wastage in that steak that I had through Bodywork. And I'm sitting like, you know what? We got something so powerful. And with people that have not had a quality steak will try to tell you, well, steak is steak. No, let me tell you something. You know, I tell you steak that they chewing on and they spitting it out in their napkin, right? Like leather. No, there's something better. There's something different about the steaks that we have. I mean, them things is like, you know, I'm talking about premium. I mean, talking about succulent. I'm talking about, you know, just as tender. No, you got to enjoy this experience with me because I'm telling you, you know, I was there and I sampled it, you know, so I know. And once you get exposed and once you know, there is no going back. You know, but again, you have to be business-minded individual because you will come in contact with people that aren't business-minded that will tell you and try to convince you what doesn't work. Now, can I expose the white elephant in the room? Mm-hmm. We need to upgrade the people we're talking to. We need to upgrade the people we're talking to. Because so long as you keep talking to, you know, people that you're, you know, comfortable with, that have an experience, that don't really have a desire, you would allow them to pull you down. Not that we don't want to, you know, take them along, but you have to be mindful. Because if they never experienced life at the level of earning $5,000 to $10,000 a month, and you go to them and you tell them about making $5,000 to $10,000 a month, quite naturally they're gonna tell you it ain't real. And if you don't go outside of that circle to begin to talk to a new group of people that understand that yes, you can make that kind of money, you will get discouraged. And also, I started out by saying, we're here to make money, right? Right. If they haven't lived life and experienced that type of lifestyle, do you think they're actually going to order some steaks? You think they're going to spend, you know, $70 to $100 to order a box of steaks? When they say, girl, shoot, I can go to Aldi's and I can get, you know, 100 steaks for that same price. But out of that 100 steaks, they probably only get about, you know, 2 steaks, you know, really, that they can actually eat. You know, because the rest of the stuff you can't digest. You know, your teeth. You know, you can't consume this stuff made for some cows or something. Okay, consume themselves, right? Y'all get my point? Yes. We have to recruit up. Okay, and I understand the dynamics because I did the same thing. When you're new to something and you really don't have that confidence, you try to recruit down because you don't feel confident to speak to somebody that you put up on the pedestal and seeing them up here. So then you try to go recruit down. But if you don't have the confidence that you need, you would allow them to pull you down. Okay? We won't talk to everybody. But at the same time, don't be afraid to talk to somebody that you see as being successful. Okay? You just have to maintain your posture. You know, you have to say, you know what? I know who I am. I know what I have. I know what I'm working on. Now the question is, do you know who you are? Because I'm really here to help you. Even though you don't think you need some help, I'm here to help you because you can always do more. You can always do better. Entrepreneurs want to help people as much as possible. Employees typically look out for themselves and what benefits them, which is sad but true, because they don't want to get promoted over. They just want to do enough work so they don't get fired, but because they're not trying to excel at the job, then they do get passed over for promotions and they do get let go because they're really not increasing the productivity of the company. So you always want to increase your value, and no matter what you do. So if you got a job, be thankful. Just work harder to be the best on your job so that they really see you as an invaluable asset that they can't do without. And in the process, it will allow you to get exposed to other opportunities within the company that will better prepare you for your own. You know, Brother Paulie tells his story of how he worked for Taco Bell, which was nothing but preparation for what he does. Now, I ain't going to go into my background, but that was preparation for what I do. All things work together. We got one down here, I can't see. Entrepreneurs make the jobs that employees work. And the employee is not the employer, the employee is the employee. Okay? So, do you want to be the one receiving the check or the one writing the checks?
I want to be the one writing the check.
Now, be the one that creates a check by going out and doing what you need to do through your JMG business, your bodywork business, so that you can create your own check. That's the power we have. You know, when you look at the compensation plan, you say, okay, I want to qualify for this trip first. So you know exactly what you have to do. You just have to go through enough no's, go through the numbers in order to qualify for the vacation. Oh, okay, I want to qualify for the $1,500 a month lifestyle bonus. Okay, it's written out what you need to do. So there is no, hidden agenda. There is no, fine print. It's all there, clear and black and white. So you know what you need to do to accomplish each one of the levels. Well, now all you need to do is set the target and then do the work. And that's all you focus on, is doing the work. Okay, you don't see it, I'm moving on. You don't see it, I'm moving on. But what I'm going to tell you is that as you continue to build, and the ones that told you no initially will eventually come back around. I met with a guy yesterday that we grew up together from high school and reconnected over Facebook. And he had, seen when I first got started a few years ago in this business, contacted me, asked me, we never met. Then my birthday was last week. He sent me out a shout out, for my birthday. Then he called me and was like, man, you still doing that business? Seems like you're doing quite well with it. Why don't we get together? And I'm like, okay, well, we talked about it before, but we never acted on it. So I started to say, well, why don't we get together on Monday? Because this was like Wednesday call. He said, well, why don't we get together this week? Now he put a sense of urgency on. So we met yesterday. And so my point is that you will come in contact with people that will tell you no, only because they're trying to discourage you, because if you become successful, now it shines a light on them. But they're hoping that it does work, because then it gives them another option. But at the price of you being willing to take the step of faith in the risk, right? Well, as you do that, you're the one that's going to reap the rewards. So sometimes you have to become the testimony. You have to become the witness for somebody else before they act on it. So even though somebody tells you no right now, doesn't mean no forever. Because those same folks will come back around if you remain consistent and faithful. So entrepreneur versus employee. Entrepreneur earns income even while sleeping. Entrepreneurs earn passive income. Employee only earn income during working hours. Employee earn active income, i.e. no work, no pay, on a daily or monthly basis. So let's watch this video. And that was another reason why he wants to, get involved with the business, because he realizes the tax benefits of owning a home-based business. Which is actually greater than what the cost of the service is. So when people tell you you can't afford it, you can't afford not to. Internet working out?
Yeah, it's been up since you started.
Oh, we're just waiting for me to act right. Now the video won't act right. What's good, brother? What happened, y'all? My videos on this.
Nice. You had it up?
Yeah, it did. It was playing just fine earlier.
It was under Internet Explorer, wasn't it?
No, Firefox.
I know that.
Hello, my name is Les Brown. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about the mindset of the entrepreneur. You know, it took a friend of mine 14 years to convince me to do what I'm doing right now. I kept putting it off. You know why? Because I didn't believe in myself. I don't have a college education. And I felt that even though he believed in me and I didn't believe in myself, I felt inferior to people with college educations. He kept saying to me, Les, you can do more than be a disc jockey. I was a radio personality in Columbus, Ohio. And all the occasions that we got together, he would always continue to come back to me again and again and again. In fact, I just asked him a few weeks ago, I said, look here, tell me, what made you stay in my ear? He said, I just felt it was my duty. And you know, sometimes in life, you have to believe in somebody's belief in you until your belief kicks in. Now, I don't know you, I can't even see you, but here's what I know about you, that you have something special. You have greatness within you. I can say that to you based upon my own experience. If anybody told me just getting started, so I don't know what you do, you might be selling a product, a service, you might have some skill or knowledge that people need right now. I don't know what you do, but here's what I know. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. If anybody told me just having the courage to get started, that it was possible that I could earn more, that I could touch people's lives, that I could do things that I didn't even realize that I could do, I can just tell you right now, one of the things that you have to do is just decide, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. I remember once going to an event, and they had a variety of motivational speakers there. And one of the guys that opened for Zig Ziglar, he was quiet, he had low energy, he didn't have any personality. In fact, he was boring. The audience is quiet as a graveyard between funerals. And I remember going to sleep and the audience woke me up with polite applause. And I said, man, he was boring. I did not know at that time I was seated next to his brother-in-law. And he said, you ought to be that boring and make the kind of money you made. I said, well, how much did he make? He said, $5,000. I looked at my watch. I said, $5,000. I said, I know I could do that. Has that ever happened to you? That you saw somebody do something, you say, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. And from that time to this time, I'll never forget something that he said. The speaker on the platform, he said, I know that I don't have personality and passion and energy. I know that I'm boring. He said, but the reason I'm standing up here and you're seated out there is because I represent the thoughts you have rejected for yourself. Whoa, man, when he said that, that hit me dead between the eyes, because I remember saying to myself, I can't do that. I don't have a college education. I can't do that, Mike. I've never worked for AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, IBM, Xerox. I can't compete with those guys out there. I don't have the resources. I don't have a 4-color brochure. Had all of these excuses. I remember one day I was talking to her and the line went dead. And I called him back. I said, hey, Mike. I said, we lost the signal. He said, we didn't lose the signal. I said, what happened? He said, I hung up. I said, well, why would you do that? He said, you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. I said, oh my God. He said, you better hope I win this conversation. I said, okay, talk to me, talk to me. And I tell you, I'm so glad he did that. From that time to this time, I've traveled around the world. From that time to this time, I went from earning $50 an hour to $25,000 an hour because I got started. From that time to this time, I went from just speaking locally to speaking around the world and getting over $125,000 an hour. I had no idea. There are things that you're going to be able to do that eye has not seen, ear has not heard. There are things that you have in you that you don't even know. But until you get outside of your comfort zone, you will never discover it. You have something special. You have greatness within you. But in order to manifest your greatness, you've got to put yourself in a perpetual state of discomfort. Yes, you've got to challenge yourself. You got to raise the bar on yourself. You've got to get busy. You got to work your plan. Even if you've got a job right now, you got to work yourself out of it. You got to have an exit date where you say, hey, I've had it. It's time for me to do me, to pursue my dream, to work my plan, to implement the things that I want for myself and for my family and for my kids. And what is your legacy? What do you want to do for yourself? In my case, I want to be able to take care of my mother. I'm adopted. And I feel like Abraham Lincoln, who said, all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother. My mother adopted 6 kids. And along with me, that made 7. And she was a domestic worker on Miami Beach. And I said, Mama, she said, what is it, Leslie? One day, when I become grown, I'm going to buy your home. I'll buy you a big, beautiful home just like this. I bought my mother the first home, 10,000 square feet, had a 12-foot deep Olympic-sized swimming pool on a golf course, and I would have never been able to do that had I not gotten started with my dream. And so, at the end of the day, you have something special. You're watching this right now for a reason, because you have something of value. This is your time. And as you begin to look at yourself and look at your goals and look at your dreams, decide that you're going to focus on your strength. What is it you want to do? And decide that you're going to master that you can say to yourself, I got this. This is my space. And when you do that, when you find something that is your passion, that turns you on, when you do that to the best of your ability, they said that success is doing what you love to do. You do it so well that people will pay you to do it. That's what I do as a speaker. You know, I love to talk, and so I find people to pay me to talk to them. And so you want to have a good time, you want to enjoy yourself, and you want to get out of your fear and just become bold. I believe leap and grow your wings on the way down. Absolutely. Well, I don't know what to do. Well, just get started. If you turn right, if you're running in the wrong direction, just turn around. If you be going in the right direction, just get started doing what you're supposed to do. Get busy. And you'll be surprised at the breakthrough. You'll be surprised at how things begin to come together for you. I had no idea. I had no idea. So I want to leave this with you. You have something special. The world is waiting. There are customers that are waiting for your services, for your product, for your ideas, for your skills, for your expertise. It's time for you to show up. Absolutely. Stand up for your dream. Stand up for your business. Make it happen. This is Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. You got greatness within you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Y'all believe that? Yeah. That's right. Give me a round of applause. And what I heard is the same characteristics of entrepreneurs. So maybe hearing from Les, because we say the same thing, it'll have a more impactful, impact on you. Of being successful, and that is being passionate, being committed. It only looks like one kind of way, that you will not quit, you will not give up. Because if you're a quitter and you're seeking success, you'll never achieve it. Like I said before, no matter what it is that you attempt to do out of life, if you're consistent, committed to it, you will eventually be successful at it, period. One thing we're saying is that let's make it faster. Let's make it happen quicker, okay? So love it or lose it, passion. What are you living for? What was yours that you taught on today, Tony? What are you living for? It's dangerous not to do what you love. The harsh truth is that if you don't love what you're doing, you're losing someone who does. For every person who is half-hearted about their work or relationship, there's someone else who loves what they're half-hearted about. This person will work harder and longer. They will outrun you. You have to be passionate about what is important to you. Because what's important to you isn't important to somebody else. So if it's not important to them, why give them the power and control over your future? You have to realize that people's opinions are just that. They're opinions. But we don't want their reality, do we? Because they're not living the life that we desire. And even if they were, we're not them. We're our own unique individuals. So maybe there's a threshold that they won't cross that you need to cross. Maybe there's a path that you have to take that they didn't have to take. So therefore, why give that control and power over to somebody else, over your destiny, over your future? You have to have a made-up mind and a made-up heart that nothing is going to keep you from accomplishing your goals and your dreams. See, we know that this atmosphere is charged with success because there's nothing that's impossible for us to accomplish. We know that we have all the gifts and the talents that we need within ourselves. It's a matter of you recognizing that you have the gifts and the talents, and a matter of you being willing to act on those gifts and those talents, to apply those gifts and those talents, to connect your gifts and your talents with us so that we can do something supernatural together as one. So let me play the second part. I mean, as the Word of God says that when the people are speaking the same language, that there's nothing that's impossible for those people to accomplish.
Again, I want to talk to you about the mindset of the entrepreneur. I want to talk to you about telling your story. See, as an entrepreneur, you're going to have to tell your story. Every time that I speak as an entrepreneur, I have to tell my story. And why is that important? Because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So when you tell your story, people get a chance to know you. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and she's going to give a presentation in Jamaica. So I said, tell me your story. So she said, well, I was an assistant principal for 25 years. I said, and what do you do now? She said, well, I retired and I'm refired. I said, what do you mean by that? She said, well, I retired from being an assistant principal, but to me, retirement means fading away. So now I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I teach people how to put together travel packages, I'm a travel agent, and I help people to begin to add more adventure to their lives. I said, very good. And so then she went on to talk about her education. I said, well, first of all, I said, here's what I want you to know. As an entrepreneur, this is what you're doing. You're going to be talking to people to attract customers. I said, let me give you some points about what it is you need to do in order to attract more customers and for people to want to say, I want to do business with you. I says, number one, start off telling them who you are and why you do what you do. And why is this important? Because when people hear you speak as an entrepreneur, when you are presenting yourself, people are asking three questions. Who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? So I told Cynthia, I said, Cynthia, if I were you, here's how I would open up. Hello, how many of you have goals you want to achieve? Raise your hands. Very good. Let me share something with you. One of the things I want you to do right now is think about your goals. I used to be an assistant principal for over 20 years, and I decided after retiring, I was not just going to fade away. I wanted to do something else. And I put together travel groups for people to travel around the world to live their dreams. And now I'm an author, and I'm a speaker. And this is something that I enjoy doing. This is something that turns me on. What turns you on? Because what I want to do is show you how you can begin to see the world on your terms from a perspective that will add more zest to your life. Helen Keller said life is either a daring adventure or it's boring. And so my husband and I, we are looking for people who want to live a daring life, who's looking for some adventure. And I said, you got to make it exciting for people and give them an experience. See, as an entrepreneur, we've got to be strategic with our story, and we've got to be experiential. Strategic, what do you mean? Because what we're doing is distract, dispute, and inspire. People already have a mindset about what it is that they want. When you tell your story as an entrepreneur about your product, about your skills, or about your business, you're disrupting the story that's already in their head, maybe about somebody else that they're already dealing with, or they're looking at someone else. And so what you want to do is interrupt that story with your story so they don't look anyplace else, so they'll know that you are the one. And through your presentation, you dismantle their belief system and begin to encourage them in the process of your presentation to create a thirst for you, for what it is you do. There's no saying you can take a horse to the water, you can't make him drink. However, through telling your story strategically and experientially, that you will begin to not only expand their minds about the possibilities about what it is you provide, but you create a thirst for what it is that you provide, where they want to. That's what you want to create, the want to, where they want to do business with you. I never forget, I was going to hire a guy to be my CPA, and at the door when he greeted me, he shook my hand, and the way he turned and walked down the hall, he said, "I'm excited about how we're going to take your business to the next level." He had already closed it. We hadn't even pulled out the contract yet, but there was a mindset and a spirit of, "I got you, buddy. You're up in my space right now. I own this space." And so as an entrepreneur, when you tell your story, you want to tell it with confidence. And you want, when you speak, you want to have a level of confidence and competence about what it is that you are speaking on. You want to know your story. You want to know the story about your competition. You want to know the marketplace. So when the person speaks to you, they know this is who you are. You got this. And when you do that, let me share something with you. They'll leave there, as Mother Teresa would say, in a spirit of, "I know I'm in the right place." They'll leave there ready to write a new chapter in their lives with you as their strategic partner, because you're going to take their business to the next level. Your story is important. One of the things that I love most about dealing with technology and Kajabi and telling a story, that what it took me years to do, take you a fraction of that time. Now, getting started, looking for ways in which you can take your game to the next level, being unstoppable and relentless, looking for ways in which you can win, how you can snatch victories from the jaws of defeat, being the kind of person that's always looking for ways in which you can push the envelope on yourself. That's the name of the game today. And this era, what the late Peter Drucker calls the era of the 3 C's, accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. You got to run just to stand still. If you're serious about winning, you're going to be looking for ways in which you can study and know your customers extremely well, and begin to look at how is it that you can provide the kind of service that make you stand out in their minds. I'm reminded of a woman who became a dominant voice in her industry, and she was asked the question, what is it that you can point to that allowed you to become successful? And she said, "It's not our intention to please our customers or to satisfy our customers. Our intention is to amaze them." See, when you are looking at your customers and looking for ways in which you can amaze them with your story, with your expertise, with your knowledge, with your follow-through, with the quality of the service that you provide, that's how customers vote with their dollars, because of the service that you provide and because of your keeping your word. They did a study to find out, what does customer service mean to the average person? And they said, reliability. Can we count on you? Will you keep your word? Will you operate with integrity? Will you honor your word as yourself? Can we count on you? You have something special. What's the story around your business? What is it about you? When people ask, who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? What is it about you and how you present yourself that will cause them to say, I want to do business with you. I've been looking for you. You are the answer to my problem. Think about it. You have something special. You have greatness within you. That's my story, and I'm still sticking to it.
What's your story?
Hello, this is Les Brown. This is Baby Brown's Baby.
What is your story that you're working on? Because he laid it out. I mean, people are looking for a solution. We have to become their solution. That's why you have to carry yourself a certain way with confidence and boldness. Because if you go speak to someone and you're not confident about what it is that you're talking about, they'll pick up on it. And it won't motivate them to listen. It won't motivate them to do anything different than what they're currently doing. Okay? So if you haven't created a story yet, that's why you edify your upline. You know, for like the Tuesday meetings. You know, you talk about, you know, the Paul Jones, you talk about, you know, the William Locke, you talk about Antonio, you talk about, you know, Jason Lee, you talk about the leaders in the company, so that when they get there to the meeting, now they're holding the folks in a high regard. So you're building up anticipation, you're building up credibility. Because maybe somebody's known you your entire life, never known you to do any type of business. So they're not stepping out on your success. You're building up the story of somebody else until you create your own story. But based upon your relationship and the credibility you have with them, they trust you to come. They trust in what you're saying about the leadership. And so then, like I said, it gives you that credibility factor, okay? So don't ever be ashamed of the fact that you're new in the business and haven't created your story yet. Because you believe something, right? You believe that this will work, right? So based on that belief, you have to keep that excitement so that when you're talking to new people, that's what they hear, your belief and your excitement. Then when you edify your upline, based upon your relationship with them, gets them to now project into the other individual that they can see success through somebody else they don't know. But then it makes that connection with the credibility because of the relationship you have with them. Okay? So that's how we connect the dots. So don't be ashamed or feel bad because you haven't had a success. You're talking about the possibility of what can be. Based upon, you know, the success I've had, based upon the success that Paulie's had. You know, so therefore, you can put your hands on somebody that you actually know that's real and has had real success. So have the boldness and the confidence you need, okay? Because it's just a matter of one day. Well, how much money have you made? Well, don't worry about how much money I made, because it's about how much money do you want to make. What lifestyle do you want? Because whatever I make, whatever lifestyle I live, it ain't for your enjoyment. So let's go and get this information. Let's go ahead and act on this opportunity so that we both can enjoy a better lifestyle. But let me show you and introduce you to somebody else that has, you know, achieved these levels of success, okay? So what is your story? Every day you're creating a story. Who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? Those are the 3 points that Brother Les Brown pointed out. Who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? Again, people are so locked in to the path that they're on. But they're looking for some missile object to knock them out of their current orbit because they're not on path or on track to get to where they want to go. They just started something that they don't know how to stop. They don't know how to change it, but it's working to serve a purpose right now because at least they're existing. That's why you have to be that missile object to knock them out of their current orbit to spin them into a different reality. And the only thing that's going to move them and motivate them to change is your excitement and your consistency and your commitment. The worst thing you could do is get somebody to sign up and you're not convinced and then you quit on them. Okay? Because then that justified, I told you them things didn't work. So you want to create the story and you want to create an environment that people can look at you and trust what you say. Okay? Because people are always looking for the, I told you so. You know, Because I don't know why. Because I don't look at the reality of somebody else's situation as mine. So therefore, I take ownership of what it is that I want out of life. Because if you don't want what others have, then don't do what others do. So it's just that simple with me. So we want to have an environment, an atmosphere, charged with characteristics of success. You know, commitment, passion, excitement, integrity. You know, so that when people talk about body work and JMG Network, they associate that with that characteristic. And the product we have is Bob. I'm just thinking about that meal we had last night. You know, that's more than what a case of the steaks costs. So therefore, I could have fed more people for that same amount of money. And would have been even happier because it would have been a better quality cut of meat. So think about it. You get paid to eat. And I'm going to do an illustration on the board later on, so I don't want to jump too far ahead. But people that lack vision can't see the power of the system. And that's another reason why they ain't here. Because folks that have an employee mindset will look at what's in front of them rather than see what's within their reach. So what we want to do is we want to expand people's vision. Because if you can't see within your reach, then you won't invest yourself. You won't take that step and that leap of faith. Wait till after the question. Okay? So while working on your story, share the information.
This is the third part of this video.
This is Les Brown. This is Baby Brown's Baby Boy. I want to talk to you about the mindset of the entrepreneur and what it takes for you to win in your business. When I started out in business, and I think all entrepreneurs have to do this, I had to find a way that would make me stand out. What is it about you, about what it is that you provide, that will make you stand out from the competition? My particular case, I noticed that most speakers had memorized scripts. And so I said, wait a minute, what is it that can make me stand apart? One, I read 2 to 3 books a week, and so I train myself to speak extemporaneously. The other thing is, I train myself to custom design my presentation. Rather than just going in and doing an information dump, I train myself to ask the customer questions, to find out what their needs were, and then I fit my presentation to answer their needs. And all that I get understanding. Look at yourself. What is it that's different about you? Make yourself stand out. Henry David Thoreau said, do not go where the path may lead. Go where there's no path and leave a trail. When you find out what is it about your service, about your delivery of your things that you're providing, your skills, your knowledge, your products, when you find ways to do that in a special way. I remember I was in Cincinnati, Ohio. I was going to give a presentation, and the gentleman who picked me up in the limousine, when I came outside, I've never had this happen to me before. He went and he got my luggage and baggage claim. As we were walking toward the limousine, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he pulls out this carpet. And he rolled out a carpet in front of me. I said, whoa. And so he said, I want to give you red carpet treatment. Come on now. He said, every time you come back to Cincinnati, I want you to know my name. I said, you got me, you got me. And then when we pulled up to the place, he got out and when he opened the door and he threw the carpet out again. I will never forget that. That's been over 16 years. And every time I come back to Cincinnati, I asked for Jonathan. I want to know, is he here? His name was Jonathan White. And so what is it that's unique about you? Whenever I give a presentation, I find out the theme. I find out what are the 5 things you want your audience to walk away with. I'll talk to the people that are promoting the event, and then I'll talk to the people that's in the audience, and then I will marry that. Now, why do you do that? Well, in order to be successful in business, and people are voting with their dollars, you've got to be willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. Most people won't do that. It's much easier to come in and just regurgitate some information. See, if information can change people, everybody would be skinny, rich, and happy. So my goal is to create an experience for people. When you touch their minds and you touch their hearts, they will remember you. They have emotional memory. And so what are the triggers you can provide for your customers that will keep you in their minds? Following them up. Even if they said no, because they said no today does not mean they will say no tomorrow. You've got to follow up again and again and say, look here, I'm just thinking about you. We were talking the other day and you mentioned something. I found this article. I thought maybe it would be of some value for you. One of the things that I think that's very important is that you give before you ask. I remember when I wanted to become a disc jockey, and I did volunteer work for the disc jockeys. When they would come out into the parking lots, their cars would be waxed and cleaned inside out. And they said, hey, who did this? Oh, I did, sir. How much you going to charge, young man? Oh, nothing, sir. I just wanted to help out. Here's what I was doing. Building relationships. Giving before I ask. You've got to give before you ask. Creating value. I just wanted to get my foot in the door. I want them to know that I was serious. There's a friend of mine, he calls himself Billionaire PA. Now, PA stands for Personal Assistant. Now, he sees himself as a billionaire. And what he does is that he sells t-shirts on the corner of Los Angeles. And he sells over 5,000 a year. But he's also a personal assistant. He said, in my mind, I'm not a personal assistant. I'm a billionaire. I'm building my own business. I bought a t-shirt from him. At the time I bought the t-shirt from him, he reached in a bag and he pulled out a camera. Everybody who buys a t-shirt from him, he videotapes them, his new customer, and he sends out 5 videos a day. He says, man, I'm going to touch 1 billion people. I said, get out of here. Now here's a guy that he was an ex-offender. He was turned down for over 125 jobs. He went to college. He got a degree in marketing, and he got another degree in business. And he couldn't find a job because he's an ex-felon. And one day his mother called him, and he answered the phone. He said, I don't look for jobs, I create them. And on that particular day, he decided to create some t-shirts with special slogans on them. God's on my team, who's on yours? He was sleeping in his car. He was homeless, but now he has his own home. Now he has staff. Now he's going to be a part of a commercial that will be at the Super Bowl in 2013. Billionaire PA, looking for ways in which he can serve his customers, looking for ways where he can stay out front, looking for ways that he can make it happen no matter what. Now think about you. You have more than Billionaire PA. You have more resources. You have a technology team that can provide for you with innovative, creative thinking, anything you need to tell your story more effectively and get it around the globe. It's available to you right now. Think about yourself. Think about your goals. Think about your dreams. What is it that you can do? What kind of experience can you create for your customers that will allow them to pass the word about you, that will allow them to think about you when they have needs, when they're looking for someone to help them to resolve their problems? When you think about today's marketplace, it's more challenging than ever before. But we're living in a time that we know anything's possible. You have something special. It's possible that you can live your dream. It's possible that you can carve out a strategy that will allow you to do market takeaways, that you can become the dominant voice in your industry. And it's necessary that you hold yourself to a higher standard. It's necessary that you incorporate technology and your story and your imagination for looking for ways in which you can take your business to the next level and create a unique experience for your customers because you have an energy signature that will cause people to think about you. And it's you. George Bernard Shaw said the people that make it in this life, they look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. It's you. You've got to take responsibility for what it is you want. And it's hard. Easy is not an option. It's easy to quit. It's easy to come up with excuses. It's easy to become frustrated. It's easy to put the towel on yourself. But I had a mentor who said, if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. If you do what is hard, your life will be easy. It's hard not to give yourself a pass. It's hard when you've been rejected again and again and again and come back. It's hard when you run out of money and run out of ideas and people that support you to pick yourself up and say, I'm going to make it happen in spite of. It's hard. But you got to find out what will make it worth it for you. What's your why? Nietzsche said, if you know the why for living, you can endure almost anyhow. You have something special. You've got greatness within you. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family. You owe it to the people that believe in you to make it happen. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This is Les Brown, Mr. Baby Brown to Baby Boy. I'll see you, as Zig Ziglar would say, at the top or from the top. Oh,
At the top or from the top. As he was speaking, you know, and just because his name is Les Brown didn't guarantee him the success that he's enjoying. I mean, he's told you he was adopted. You know, his mother was a, you know, crack addict. You know, he has a twin brother. You know, he had diversity to overcome for him to become who he is today. So again, there's a characteristic for success. So true success is simply the realization and attainment of a worthy ideal or result that your heart is deeply connected to it. It is what births passion. It's what people die for. It's why some people explode out the gates and create success easily, and others struggle all their life. They are operating on a whole different realm of success and action. True success is soaked with emotion, powered by passion, driven by destiny, and forward with the fire of the heart. There's no more powerful success than true success that the heart is welded to it by fire of passion. You know, I told you a story of, you know, once I got to college, you know, how I was hustling to make money because, you know, I wasn't getting the mail from home with the, you know, the money in it and all that kind of stuff, right? The care packages. My grandmother, she used to send me some cookies, y'all. Oh, man, I love some cookies. I look forward to getting my grandmother's cookies. But the way I got there was that I've actually, you know, moved out of my parents' house or my mother's house when I was 15. And I knew that there was something in me that had to get out. But I was misguided at the time. But I always had money. So a friend of mine had suggested that I enroll in college. So I went ahead and did that. Well, the time came to go to college, and I really wasn't going to go, but something stirred up on the inside of me, right? And I had a new stereo system that I called around to see who wanted to buy it from me so I can get me a plane ticket to go to college. Got to the airport, called my parents, and was like, I'm on my way to college. Good luck, son. But that was what it took. It took something on the inside of me to say, you know what? I want more of life. I see an opportunity, and I'm going to take advantage of it. Now, I didn't allow the fact that I didn't have the support like I thought I should have had, you know, to discourage me or become an excuse. I realized that when I left Minnesota to go to college in Ohio, that was an opportunity for me to redefine myself. That old person that I was known as, nobody knew that person in Ohio. So you have to redefine yourselves. You know, the people that have known you their entire life, and now you start to talk about this business you're in, they have to see something different in you. They have to hear a different conversation. Because if they see and hear the same thing, guess what? They're going to put you in the same category. They need to feel that there's something different about you in order to spark some true interest in them. So then when we say that success in your heart have a definite connection in any type of true success, in any kind that is long term. You must be excited about helping others make money and big money because that means you make big money. And I ain't here for no little money. That's why they call me Big Willie style. Okay? I don't like little money. I can't do much with little money. So I've always had my sights and focus on making big money. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I like a nice, lavish lifestyle. But what I really love about this company is the only way anybody makes money is to help somebody else make money. So what is wrong with all of us getting paid?
Nothing.
See, I want you to make big money because that means I make big money.
Right.
Rather than the reverse of saying, I want you to make a little money so I can make big money. See, it don't work like that in this business.
No.
That's not the way that this business plan is made up. You know, so what we need to do is take advantage of what we have. And so this is all I want y'all to focus on, okay? You see it over and over again. Read now, okay? Just for simplicity's sake, we're just going to write it all the way out so I want everybody to be clear about what I'm talking about. We're just talking about 2 levels. That's it. Because here's you, right? And what we're teaching is that you go out and get your 3 people, right? And pretty much at that point, you're done. Why? Because we want them to duplicate the same thing you did. So all we want them to do is go get 3 people. We ain't saying go out and recruit, 100 people. No, we just want you to get 3 good people that's going to do exactly what you do of getting 3 people. So that's just levels 1 and 2, right? Does that seem complicated? Does that seem impossible? Now, you may have to go through 50 people to get 3. I mean, you may have to go through 100 people. Or you may go through 10. But whatever you have to go through in order to get 3 good people is the price that you have to pay to get $5,000 a month. At least. Okay? Now, this is what is so amazing about this. So here's level 1 and 2, right? Now, all we want them to do is the exact same thing. Levels 1, level 2. The exact same thing. Level 1, level 2. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Level 1, level 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We keep going down. That's all it is. 3, 9. 3, 9. But because of multiplication, now it's 3, 9, 27, 81, 243, 727, 2187. It grows exponentially. Okay? But you only got to get 3. So we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. How many days left? 6. Get these knocked out today. 1 and 2. And then the other 6 days, work on getting down to level 7. Okay? And the reason that it's so doable is because when you're talking about the compensation plan and the bonus plan that we got going on, there's no reason why. Because everybody's getting the money back right away.
Yeah.
So actually, you can build this because you sign up and you get your 3 people, you get your money back the following week, they get their money back the following week, they get their money back the following week. Okay? So therefore, you can build a residual income of life-changing money, and it actually doesn't cost you anything. You actually get paid to do it. You actually are able to eat quality premium food and get paid while doing it. So when somebody tells you that something's not affordable, do you see how you have to take that posture of confidence and boldness? You're saying, no, you can't afford not to do this because it just makes so much sense. I mean, where else can you go on the planet where it only costs you $25 to $150 to sign up, get your money back the following week, and have the potential of making life-changing money, and you're going to eat good and get paid to eat good in the process? It doesn't exist. It does not exist. This is such a unique opportunity and unique concept. It doesn't exist. So don't take it lightly and don't take it for granted. Because Paul Jones, the visionary of this house, has such a huge vision and such a generous heart that there is no other compensation plan that can touch this. There is no other opportunity that can touch this. Because they don't have a Paul Jones running. Okay? Now, because we're blessed to be in this unique position, what we need to do is take advantage of that. Because the timing is right now. Now is perfect with all the conditions going on in the world. Now is the perfect time for it. Because people are looking for a real solution. You just have to have the posture and the confidence when you speak to somebody. I don't care what you're talking about. I got the solution for you. Forget all that other nonsense. Come on with me and let me show you the solution. Well, I ain't got time. No, you make time. It ain't going to cost you anything to come out and discover how powerful this is. And like I said, when you're on the way or when you're talking to them, if they're going to meet you, make sure, follow up that they're coming to the meeting. You know, if you're in the car with them and making sure that they're coming by driving, that's what gives you the time to edify the upline, the people that's going to be at the meeting. So that's all I want us to focus on for the remainder of these 6 days. 3 through 9. 3, 9. You got your 3? I got my 3. Go get your 3. Let's get your 3 now. 3, 9. 3, 9. Okay? Then we have a quick promote. So that means by just getting your 3, and once they get one of their 3 on the way to the 3, now you get promoted to senior director. Everyone in here right now should be a senior director because the quick promotion is so doable that it should be done. We should be announcing new senior directors like every day within the company. So if you're not, that means that you need to step up your work game. That means you need to talk to more people because you want to take advantage of this quick promotion while it's available. So if that means that maybe you've been talking, let's be honest, and I ain't got to raise your hand. Maybe you've been talking to 1 or 2 people a week, trying to rely on the Tuesday meeting to get them there. You need to start talking to 5 to 10 people a day and setting up private meetings. Get with your upline to, if you don't know the presentation, to go with you to the meeting so that you're not just building your business from Tuesday to Tuesday. You are business owners and your leaders. Let me see a show of hands of who's leaders in here. Okay. So that's a unanimous decision, right? We're unanimously in agreement, right? So let's operate like business owners. We're not only open for business on Tuesdays, we're open for business 24/7. So that's how you have to operate your business, 24/7. Okay? So therefore, take advantage of the quick promote so that you can get promoted to senior director, which means that you increase your income. That means that you also get the bonus money on the people that's part of your organization up under you as well. You know, I can't tell you how nice it is to get checks, you know, weekly checks from people that are out building their business, from folks that I don't even know who it is that they signed up. Because once you begin to put this machine in motion, you can't turn it off, nor would you want to. But whatever the numbers are, you have to go through is what you have to go through in order to achieve the success that you desire. So the limit of your abilities is where you place it. You have all the weapons you need, now fight. If you do what is easy in life, you will be whatever that says behind there, and you will do what is hard in life. When you do what is easy in life, it will be hard. But when you do what is hard in life, life will be easy. Okay? So, bottom line is, let's get busy. All right. So, want to go ahead and turn that off for me? So I can, Tony, go ahead and turn it off for me. So I can make a private announcement. Brother Marquis.